Hey, Juniors, what's up? All right, so we're talking today about the Battle of Bull Run, as it's known in the north, or the Battle of Manassas, as it's known in the south. It's the same battle, two different names, and it occurred on July 21st, 1861, a few months after the war opened at Fort Sumter. Now, in the aftermath of the Fort Sumter event, both sides are anticipating a quick victory. Both sides are looking for that. Neither side is ready for that. Okay, neither side has the troops organized into effective. Well, they have units and they have regiments, but it's all kind of like they're scrambling to recruit men and organize them, but they're not disciplining them. There's not the training in place to make sure that the armies are effective in the field. Okay. But at the same time, there's also demands from the population of both the North and the South for quick action, fast action, get this war going, get it over with. All right. The North has the harder task because they have to try to force the South back into the Union, right? Uh, the first leader of the Union Army is Winfield Scott, who had the seniority in the army. He was the most, the kind of the elder guy of the army, recognized as the sort of the grandfather lead. He was famous for his invasion of Mexico during the Mexican-American War, in which he had taken the capital of Mexico, Mexico City, and he invaded a country of 8 million people with the American army at the time, which was not that big. Okay, well, so people are looking at this and they're saying, why doesn't Winfield Scott, people in the North are saying, why doesn't he invade the South immediately? He did this, and he invaded Mexico. And look, when Virginia secedes from the Union, then the capital of the Confederacy becomes Richmond. It's like 175 miles from Washington, D.C. And people are saying, why doesn't he just go into Virginia and take the capital? And Scott is hesitant to do so. Okay, well, first of all, the people demanding and go and attack Richmond were right in the sense that the Northern Army was going to have to engage with the Southern Army and fight and win in the field in order to force the eventual Northern victory. In other words, you were going to have, this sounds obvious, but I'll explain it in a minute. You were going to have Northern victories in the field, okay, because the Southerners were not interested particularly in negotiating some kind of settlement and coming back into the Union. You were going to have to force them to surrender, unconditional surrender, come back into the Union. That was going to be the end goal, and that was not going to happen without victories in the field. Okay, so the people demanding that Winfield Scott act in the summer of 1861 were right in the sense that there would have to be Northern engagement of Southern armies to force that victory. At least that's how it played out. They were wrong in the sense that they didn't realize how poorly the Union Army was ready for that engagement. The Southerners were about in the same boat in terms of their military organization and training and so forth, but neither of them were ready for it, okay? So Scott understood that his troops weren't ready. That's why he didn't want to invade right away. What was he doing? What was his plan? Okay, well, he wanted the Navy to lead the way. He wanted to blockade the South and have the Navy guarding the eastern seaboard, send ships down the Mississippi River, and basically cut the South in two. The deep South, east of the Mississippi River, would be it could not be resupplied from Europe or from Latin America from the Caribbean or from the West, or certainly from the North. So the idea was you would kind of besiege the entire Confederacy there, at least, and wage war that way, right? Well, that blockade was going to be in place. Well, but that was not going to be a long-term. That was not going to force Southern surrender ultimately. So that's what I meant by you were going to have victories in the field. You were not going to win simply with a blockade. All right. The Southerners don't. It's easier for them. They don't have to invade at all, okay, because they simply have to not. They simply have to hold out, and that's all they want is to be recognized as an independent nation, right? So they can have the slavery. Keep the slavery. All right. So then, for the Southerners, though, it's a similar problem. The population wants quick action now. Engage. I think there are people calling for invasion of the North and the South, which doesn't make any sense strategically. But yeah, I forgot what I was going with that. Oh yeah, the Southerners, they have the easier task, I guess, is the main thing there. All right. All right. So where's all this going? All right, it's going to Bull Run, Manassas and Bull Run. So Lincoln agrees with the population of the North that there needs to be some kind of engagement in battle. Okay, and so that's going to be his order is going to then lead to this Battle of Bull Run and Manassas. I'm going to stop. This is the we'll just we'll go on. We'll deal with the actual battle in the next lecture. All right.